The room was full of emotion as Charles Willite was released and greeted by friends, family, and his young daughter who kissed him on the head. Richard Zay, 29 of Newington, let himself into the Elmwood neighborhood home when the 18-year-old girl was left home alone. What started out as a small neighborhood haunted house has turned into a major attraction throughout all of Connecticut. This year's festival runs until August 14th, and for a full list of participating restaurants, visit NBCConnecticut.com. Miss Bissell, one of the main thematic scene characters accused of poisoning her husband, lingers in this cemetery. Her death is a mystery and her story is revealed in a chilling lantern-lit tour in West Hartford's North Cemetery. The West Hartford hauntings begin this week to start off Halloween. The Connecticut DOT will be replacing a culvert here on West Main Street between Willow Street and Railroad Avenue. Construction is expected to begin July 1st and should be completed by September 1st. Just last month, the town council voted to lift the deed restrictions of the Griffin School, and now a new group of developers plan to come in, demolish the school, and build a CVS. Some feel differently and want to save the landmark.
I have seen a public safety report that 4 young men entered through a side door in Regents Park, not one of the main entrance doors. The door was propped. 4
non-university students gained access to Regents Park by discovering an open door. All 4 individuals walked into a suite, sat themselves around the residence common room, and began to roll a marijuana cigarette while still engaged in conversation.
They said they were waiting for another resident of that apartment. Unbeknownst to the resident that encountered them, she called and verified that the other resident didn't know him. The other resident happened to be in her room, comes out of the room and says, "I don't know these guys."
I opened my door a little, I was scared to come out, and one of the guys walked down the hallway and was just staring at me.
It is disconcerting, especially for the women who live there. And we have to take every one of their concerns seriously.
Henry suggests that the men received Brooks' name from the name tags on the resident's external suite door. Fortunately, the men left with no issue and exited from the south end of the building where there is no camera footage.
Incidents like this make us think about that and talk about that again. Should we move those name tags off the suite door and put them on the bedroom door instead?
When you leave a door propped, you just don't let students in. You let anyone who's out there coming in.
There were 2 critical failures in this event, both due to human error. One being the prop door. Second, students not locking their door once safely inside their apartment. Residential Life believes that these men may have gone to the apartment to visit a friend from a previous year. Currently, the case is still under investigation. I'm Christina Craig, STN Channel 2 News. STN took a closer look into what exit voters had to say Tuesday before the polls closed. Their vote was calculated and the new president was announced. STN asked the Greater Hartford community who won their vote.
I'm very, very, very proud to say that I voted for the president, President Barack Obama. When he came into office facing a tremendous debt, over $2 trillion in debt. And he's come a long way to get people who were not registered to vote.
I can't believe anybody in her right or his right mind could vote for Obama. I can't believe anybody would allow him 4 more years of disaster.
I think this is probably one of the most important races in the history of our country. I think that whoever is going to be elected, which I hope is President Barack Obama, will get us back on track and get this economy turned around.
It's a very exciting election. We have a record turnout so far in Bloomfield. I think that people are turning out in record numbers because of the presidential election and the United States Senate election.
While many eager voters piled into the polling locations, West Hartford recently consolidated its polling venues, downsizing from 20 locations to only 9.
What I am upset about is I saw the big long lines. The lines are outrageous that somebody in their infinite wisdom changed the voting places and made this just absolutely horrendous.
With this election, it's very important. We had a lot of first-time voters here, and I've seen people and heard people say, I'm out of here.
You know what, to me, it's not about who I voted for, but I'm just hoping that everybody takes the opportunity to vote, because it wasn't that long ago that women weren't able to vote. And on top of that, of course, I am African American, so it's really a big thing. I'm African American and a woman, so it's really important that I take the time to vote.
Despite the long lines, people are still coming out showing their patriotism and their support for their candidates in this presidential election. It all boils down to tonight, and some residents are saying that this is the biggest election they have seen since Bush and Al Gore back in 2000. I'm Christina Craig in West Hartford, STN Channel 2 News. Many West Hartford residents said that voting was far from organized, and some mentioned that they were not informed of the polling location change. For more on this story, visit stn2.tv.